Hello, it's Reija and welcome to another video. Today it is time for another BookTube SFF Babbles topic. This week's topic is science fiction and fantasy with people of color characters. And I'm going to do this in a kind of two parts. First, I'm going to be talking about books I read and I recommend that are written by people of color and have people of color as main characters. And then after that, I'm going to be talking about some books that are on my TBR that are written by POC and have POC characters. So let's get started. So first of all, I want to recommend N.K. Jemisin's The Broken Earth trilogy. I'm holding the Obelisk Gate because my partner has the 5th season right now. And I love this series. It is an exploration of systemic oppression, how oppression makes people think. Like if you are living in a society or a system that that oppresses you from the moment you are born, how do you grow up? What kind of thoughts do you have going forward? And it is about dismantling the system and kind of making sure that future generations have hope. And it's just, I love this series so much and I can't recommend it highly enough. And it is written by a black author and it has like most of the characters in this are people of color. Next, I want to recommend The Dandelion Dynasty by Ken Liu. It is written by an Asian American author and it is the book is a kind of saga, a historical epic, kind of inspired by Romance of the Three Kingdoms and kind of like these oral traditions. The first book not only subverts the traditional hero's journey that we see in a lot of fantasy, it also has another main protagonist that has a kind of rags to riches type of story and is a kind of Robin Hood character. And the world is very Asian-centric. It is inspired by East Asian cultures and can't recommend this highly enough either. The characters mostly in this book are coded Asian. Then I would like to recommend Gene Mapper. Now, I don't think that this is by any means the perfect book, but it has South Asian representation, it has women in tech, it has a very interesting premise of biology combined with programming, and I just think that it is very entertaining even if some of the technical aspects are not always up to par. I gave it 3 stars and I would highly recommend reading this. I do think that Taiyo Fuji probably has gotten a lot better after this book because this was his first novel and can't recommend it highly enough. And then for something a little different, I want to recommend Future Home of the Living God by Louise Erdrich. This is more like literary fiction with speculative fiction and science fiction elements. It takes place in a kind of setting where evolution has started going backwards and women have started carrying babies to term that are not human in a sense that we, like how we expect like regular babies to look like and stuff, so that they are born, the babies are born like as a kind of step back in evolution. And it deals with this one character's journey with her pregnancy and how she is dealing with the society's kind of downfall and how these women are carried into these facilities where they are expected to give birth. and serve as kind of broodmares essentially. And I really enjoyed it. It has some faults, like it isn't a perfect story, but I still think that this is a worthy read, and it is by a Native American author and has Native American main characters. And then some honorable mentions. These are not written by people of color, but they have people of color as main characters or characters in them. And I'd want to recommend Palimpsest by Catherine M. Valente. This has a one POV character that is Japanese. Then, of course, I would like to recommend the Rivers of London series by Ben Aronovich. This has a mixed race male character who is of Somali descent, I think, as the main protagonist. And then I would like to mention some books that I am planning on reading in a couple of weeks, actually. First, I have The Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This is really hyped on BookTube right now, and I can't wait to pick it up. This is a high fantasy debut novel by a Black author. And then I have City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty, and this is a Middle East inspired fantasy novel that I am really excited to dig into. And there you have it. This has been my take on this week's Babbles topic. I hope you find some of these books interesting and will go and pick them up yourself. And if you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. And I will see you in another video very soon. Bye bye!